Hey everyone, Fear Agent here. Joining me today is Reg. It's Reg, right? Or Reg. I always forget which one it is.
I prefer reg, but
Okay,
either way,
Reg.
I'm here. We've
It's
got a
Reg.
race.
Got it.
Yeah.
We are in week 4 of ALTTPR League, um, and it's Monday. That's correct, right? I'm losing track of all of the
It is
time and
definitely
days.
Monday.
All right, it's Monday. So first day of week 4, spoiler key sanity pilot mode. So this is something pretty unique to the league. You don't see this a lot outside of the league. I know there was they ran a little tournament recently as well, but so it's a spoiler log. Our runners are gonna have the spoiler log, and they're gonna run the race, but not quite exactly. Can you fill us in on the difference between this and a regular spoiler run?
Yeah, so the big difference between a regular spoiler run and this is you see McMonkey and Adirondack Rick are the runners here. They're not the ones with the spoiler logs. Vortex of Doom and Synac are in these racers' ears. They're the ones with the spoiler log. They're the one telling these guys where to go and what to do. And there is no study period either. You get the log when the race starts and when the runners are off, and you've just got to go as fast as you can, find the early game stuff, and then go.
Yep. So normally in a spoiler log race, you get 15 minutes to prepare, 50 minutes to study the log, plan out your route, and all that kind of stuff. In this, since it's co-op, there is no study time. The runner or the pilots will be getting that log, like you said, right at go. So this is like the ultimate test of communication, parsing information, and then low percentage execution, because you're not going to get 20 hearts and red mail. So it's so much fun. It's a very stressful mode, but it's a lot of fun. So
Yeah, I can definitely vouch. It's a lot of fun. We've had it in the league for. Did we have it in season 1?
no, I think it was season 2 is when we first brought
Yeah.
it in. Yeah.
Season 2 was there. I was there. I played it. I was in season 2, and it was great fun, and it's been around ever since.
Yep.
Really, really cool mode.
It's a cool
But
mode. Yeah.
I do think, though, even more than just a test of low percent execution, it's a test of knowing your limits.
Yeah.
Because your partner's got the spoiler log. If you want the blue mail or you want an extra heart, you can just ask him, hey, where is
Yep.
this? And it'll be out of the way for sure, but
For sure.
you can have it if you want to.
So the beginning of these races are going to be pretty chaotic. The runners are just going to have usually like a standard route. Some like a Houlihan, some like to go to CAC, some like to check Uncle. Just trying to buy your pilot time. And we haven't talked about the teams. We've got Go on the left. We got Flippers right to start off Link's house. So you say, I got Flippers, cross that off the list. Don't need that. We got Monkey running for Go with 9 points there, and Adirondack Rick with representing the bomb squad with. They only have 3 points right now. So both teams trying to make a press for the playoffs here. These wins are very important. So
Yeah, I think just off of win counts, Go is in a much better situation right now, but Rick did take a win over Big Dunka last week in casual boots, so seeing if the bomb squad can build off that momentum here is going to be pretty big to see if they can push towards it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so Monkey went and got the 50-50 bomb pools over by the dig spot, or the flute spot, I guess, and was able to get 2 bombs. We see the mushroom, and it looked like the pod big key over at Uncle. And Monkey already swimming away somewhere. It looks like Waterfall Ferry or maybe Zora Ledge here.
Yeah, we can't pay the fish, but there's probably like a fast movement item going on around here.
One of the items you're always asking for, like right away, is where's the boots? Oh, just going there for a heart container? Okay. Again,
There's
knowing your limits.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you still have the ledge.
Continuing to go, so definitely good on Vortex to notice that was there in the waterfall cave, so he could grab that right in the way.
Yeah. Oh, there's the boots. Wow. Okay, so we know that who the Vortex is. Vortex is
yeah, Vortex is piloting McMonkey here,
and then we have Synac piloting Rick. So we got a sword there in the well. Rick is bombing it, so there's going to be something back here. Ah, cash. Nice. Him getting that 300, I wonder if there's something over here at Zora as well.
I would be a little surprised if McMonkey got directed there, knowing he got to come back later for Zora.
Maybe.
Really,
so it's like, get those boots. Everyone wants those boots. And that well was stacked. Oh my gosh, 2 gloves in Kakariko.
Yeah. And cash is just always something that you can't ever have enough of in the super early game.
Yeah.
Beats hunting bombs.
Yeah, easy to overlook too. Magic and money and bombs are 3 things that can, you can kind of overlook as you're trying to find all the items. So they already have Dark World access with the Moon Pearl and the mitts there. I think we saw the lamp as well. Shoutouts to Scoopala, who's doing our tracking today as well.
Yeah, I think we saw that lamp in the well in addition to the glove and the cash. And a sword actually was in there too.
Yeah. It's quite the Kakariko. Rick taking advantage of the gloves there, getting that bomb drop right outside Link's house. That's a 50-50 that you can use when you have the gloves. But it looks like he's going to go pick up his boots now as well. Yeah,
so nothing over at Zora that we'll be seeing, I don't think, because both runners go in there without the cash.
That 300 is a really nice spot since you need the 100 rupees for bottle vendor right there.
Yep, and then you can just hold the rest, buy a pack of bombs if you need 10 in a clutch spot, or if you need to play the digging game later, buy a big red bomb, that sort of thing.
Yep. Now, this is key sanity as well. It is 7-7 to defeat Ganon, so you don't have to complete all the dungeons. But because it is key sanity, you may have to dip into some dungeons that you might not want to dip into. Key sanity also puts a wrinkle in trying to make sure you find all the keys that you need. Oh, the mirror. Rick skipped out on that, unfortunately. So he's going to have to come back to Kakariko. Though that's not that bad because, I imagine they have to come back this way at some point anyways.
Yeah, like we've already got Dark World access, but it's only through the Kakariko portal. So if they decide the Dark World is immediately in the cards, he's going right back there.
Yeah. This is my favorite part, is when you're like, am I going left? Am I going down? Am I going up? Oh, no, go back up. No, wait, don't go that way. And you see them running back and forth.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I know that some people are pretty big on just always be moving towards a check, because even in a mode like this, if you've got to backtrack a little bit, it still beats standing still. Yeah, here comes Rick going for his mirror. Didn't actually have bombs when he left Kakariko the first time.
I see.
And apparently didn't want to buy them.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he's probably going to head over to the Village of Outcast area or Skull Woods after this. So,
yeah,
not really losing time.
Straight there, and they're going to be on the same items, so.
It was funny that he got the 20 off the library ledge. I think that was just trying to buy time there.
Yeah, because this is a relatively wide open seed pretty early on.
Yeah, there's a lot to do. Curious to see where that hammer is. We did get our crystals filled in by, again, our tracker Scoopala today. We've got pendants over at Desert, Hera, and Turtle Rock. Okay. With the green pendant being Desert, and it looks like our 5-6 are Swamp and Skull Woods.
Yep. So you were talking earlier about dungeons that you don't really want to dip. I think Turtle Rock's the only one of those pendants that really qualifies as such.
McMonkey really going out of his way to get as much money as he can. Is there something at Zora?
It really would surprise me. And 300 will get you pretty much the rest of the game besides him. I would just find it weird that both of them went that direction when 300 plus Houlihan was available. Overworld, you never want to see that.
That's tough, yeah. Rick getting a Turtle Rock key is interesting since, again, it is a pendant. For the most part, most dungeons you only need like one key for, with the exception, of course, being Pod and Turtle Rock. pod, you could get away with one key if you don't need to open that many items.
Yeah, Turtle Rock, if you need to go all the way, then you need at least 3 at minimum. 4 if you need whatever's in that middle lava chest.
Man, Rick just bought the 100 rupee bombs there at the bomb shop and checked with the bomb vendor, even though Sinek has the spoiler lock. That's a little interesting. I guess trying to relieve some of the information, because right now Vortex and Sinek are trying to route out where they want these runners to go. We're going to get our first look at Hype Cave.
Yeah, the early game for pilots is crazy hectic, trying to figure out A, where everything is, and B, trying to route it out even semi-coherently.
Yeah.
So we'd see checks like Rick just did Hype Cave for absolutely nothing, but that gave Sinek a good 30-40 seconds to start thinking some things through.
Yeah, it got him the boomerang, which isn't bad to have early on, as well as a heart container. We see McMonkey still in a key in Skull Woods.
Yeah, and considering this is where he took that overworld death just a minute ago, there's definitely something of value in here. Probably several somethings like that.
There's the bow. Didn't need the key for that, but he is thinking, do I need to keep going?
Yep, pinball room. I guess if there's nothing else in the front, using the key to get here is fine. Otherwise, it's a bit of a weird one to loop around.
Okay, we got some more, yeah.
That's value right there.
Yeah.
As you know, with just a hammer and a fire rod or bombos, we can go to Ice Palace.
Fun. Good times. All right, so Rick gonna clear out Mini Moldrum Cave. We'll see what's here. It does have to be careful down to 1 heart.
Yeah, not going for a bomb like I thought he would, but the spin attack does just as good of a job.
Yep. All right, another heart container. We got the big key to Desert Palace. That's interesting. There's a small key to Skull Woods and a small key to Ice Palace. So we see another big key on Graveyard Ledge. That is Thieves Town. That is a very much required.
Yep. Meanwhile, none of the keys that Rick picked up are theoretically hard required this seed. Because you can do Skull Woods with 0 keys, you can do Ice Palace with 0 keys if you bomb jump or Icebreaker. But they make life just a little bit nicer. And that Desert Palace big key could be very required, which makes them right in the way.
Yep. So it looks like we're going to get Thieves Town finished here for McMonkey. Rick heading over to the pod area.
Yeah, we saw the Hylia Island earlier, and it was, I believe, just triple bombs, so no reason to stop for that. But I do like the early dungeon play on McMonkey's side. Just goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Give Vortex just a little bit more time to get everything squared away.
Does get a Master Sword out of it too, so not bad. We'll clear this dungeon and get another sword. Rick heading over to pod, so this is going to be a double dip unless, of course, hammer and bow are here. Which is possible, I guess.
Yeah, and it's not just stopping for Zaha's hut, because approaching that from the Dark World just a mirror to it would be a little bit strict.
Yeah. So we got the big key to GT, very much required. Another heart piece. That gives Rick up to 6. That's a pretty good spot to be in, I think. Again, it's going to depend on every runner, but I think 7 or 8 hearts is probably the safe spot for most runners in the Invitational.
Yeah, especially when you tack on the potential for an armor upgrade in there.
Yeah. Yeah, blue mail is super nice.
So yeah, already being pretty close to that safe spot just 11 minutes in means you're not going to have to go really out of your way for that later if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got Rick in pod here with one key and a big key, but like you said earlier, you need both a hammer and a bow to get the Helmosaur. Or really, even to do anything other than just go through the front door here.
Yeah.
So, not that many checks here on just one key.
Yeah, only 2 more logical checks, or even accessible checks right now. Unless he can poach or mimic clip his way to the bow side. Oh, there's the flute. Okay.
Yeah, we already had logical access to Death Mountain via the glove and the lamp, but that's still nice to have. Do need it for Meyer later.
Heading back in. All right.
Yeah, something down in that Stalfos basement.
Yeah, this mode is tough. It's tough to figure everything out on the fly. Oh, it gets another heart container. Okay. Now this blind fight is scripted. So again, nerves happen. Trust me, it happens to all of us. For it's a little tough.
Yep. This fight can go off the rails pretty easily if you're not clean in your movement, and if it does, then all bets are off. But looks like McBlucky's got it.
Yep. So far, so good.
Yep. Took one hit there just as soon as I said anything. Gets an ice rod for his trouble and a crystal.
But the ice rod doesn't really mean anything at this point because Turtle Rock is a pendant, and you have to clear Thieves Town anyways. So.
Yep. Would be pretty nice, like in a non-spoiler setting, if Turtle Rock were a crystal, just because it would mean
Yeah.
ice rod hunt. But in this setting, it's just it might be required. I haven't looked at the log. I don't think you have either.
No, I'm just kind of staying away from the log for now. We'll just kind of see how it goes, how it plays out. So Go has a 1 crystal lead here, but Rick gonna pick up his items from Skullwoods, and I imagine probably heading into Thieves Town as well.
Okay, this is Houlihan from Go here, from Nick Monkey, so...
This tells me there's something on Zora, right? There has to be.
Yeah, there has to be at this point. You don't need this much cash if there's not. But at the same time, he's not going straight there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some good stuff in the Uncle area, though. A big key and, what, a mushroom?
Yeah. We haven't seen that mushroom turn in either, so. Did Rick get his bow? I know he got Samaria.
I was looking at where McMonkey was going to go after that Houlihan play. Although he's going right back to the Dark World here, so I think he's missed it and he knows.
Yeah. Or maybe he picked it up. Okay, it's Chet confirming he did get the bow. Okay.
Okay, thank you, chat. You guys are great.
We're gonna get a look at Dark Cross here.
Yeah, McMonkey actually... No, he didn't have the chance to do this from the back, did he? We saw the Hyrule Castle key. I think that was in blind spot, but he didn't grab it.
I think Rick is getting the Thieves Town big, I think, from Graveyard Edge.
Yeah, that should be right. And then he can just go right back and do that dungeon.
Yeah, it's a good dungeon to get out of the way. Oh, there's blue mail. I see. It's kind of out of the way to get some blue mail, but again, knowing your limitations, not dying is more important than, losing a couple seconds to go out of your way to get something. And Guy Fieri looks great in blue, so.
Yeah, I'll allow it. There's also the fact that McMonkey has picked up a quarter many hearts as Rick is added to his total.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to get a catfish check? No. Turn it into mushroom, possibly?
Or no, just
let's just get out of here. Where is the hammer going to show up?
Smells like Misery Mire to me, but we don't have a medallion, so if it is, we can't get it right now anyways. Which, thanks to our tracker, we actually know both the medallions for this seed are Ether. Neither of these runners are actually going to check that.
Yeah. So a small key here in Checkerboard Cave is pod. All right.
Yeah, and since Rick did open the front door, if he were going to get every single chest in pod, he would need 5 keys in total. You can skip one by using the hammer jump technique.
Yeah.
I have a
But
feeling we're not going to be opening every chest in pod.
It's very rare you need all those keys in pod. There's another one though, so that gives him pretty much everything. He could open everything except for, let's see, he get Vanilla Big Key and Harmless Hellway now.
And the boss, of course, but missing a hammer for that anyways.
Yeah. No, I mean with 3 keys you can get to the boss and open every chest except for Harmless Hellway. And...
Oh yes, you're right. I'm sorry. Well, no, he already used one on the front door, though, remember?
Yeah. So use one on the front door, use one in the back, and use one.
Yeah, I'm just totally screwing it up. I was thinking 4 is the full clear, but that's only if you don't open the front door, and then I just didn't adjust properly.
Yeah. All right, so there's Bombos, which is really interesting. Now the question about Bombos is it required for Ice Palace, right? Because we see that Ether is required to get the required medallion to get in both Mire and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and that would mean that Bombos can only possibly be used to get into Ice Palace. It has no other logical implications.
That's interesting. So I guess we're gonna see if is McMonkey gonna head into Ice Palace now? It looks like he is.
Hammerless Ice Palace. Always an interesting decision. Really
Okay.
we can see Icebreaker too, although he does have a small key. So not that bad. But
okay, so here's something that Spoiler can do. We see that Vortex of Doom is in chat right now. He is piloting McMonkey, and he did say that Zora was avoidable. We just decided to go back. All right, so I guess Fire Rod is not going to be in Ice Palace, but we'll find out here shortly.
there's always a chance that it's out of the way enough that Vortex decided that was still the right call.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it so you don't, magic isn't as a dire situation in Ice as well.
Yeah, Vanilla does this really nice thing where it puts the Pengators in the magic drop pack, but Rando be Rando.
So is Hammer going to be here, or is there something that is required for the Hammer?
I would be willing to bet on just Hammer directly, but that's not a sure bet at all.
Mm-hmm. We got another key for Pod in Ice Palace. All right.
Yep. Thanks to the small key we picked up elsewhere, not having a hammer doesn't mean we get locked here.
Yeah. Okay, there's the required Ether.
So we're back to Hammer maybe being in Misery Mire.
Sure, yeah.
And meanwhile, on Rick's side, there's the hammer, so it's not in
Classic. Classic.
And now just one-shot the dungeon, the rest of the dungeon, which is practically nothing at this point.
Mm. The two hard required items in Ice Palace, one of them being the hammer, which is really unfortunate because, I mean, it's not unfortunate as spoiler, but in a non-spoiler mode, it's always awful.
And Rick's got the crystal count tied up here. It's not going to last
Yeah.
very long since McMonkey's just a couple runes away from fighting Cold Stare here, but he is going for it. And now, yeah, we're going back to what you were saying earlier about magic. McMonkey would not be able to open Cold Stare Shell with the Fire Rod here, unless he used some sort of beam tech.
Yeah. All right, so we have a 5-heart blue mail Master Sword Cold Stare fight. I believe in McMonkey here.
Yeah, this would be a kind of shy away sort of thing for a lot of runners here, but getting some good hammer hits in while they were in the corner. And Spin does the same damage as the hammer here, so hasn't taken a hit yet.
Yeah, managing this really well. One puff down.
With each puff that goes down, this fight gets significantly easier.
Does take a hug. Cannot do that again. There's 2. And 3. Nicely done.
Yeah, very well played to pull that off, because that's a fight that a lot of runners in most situations would just straight up shy away from.
Mm-hmm.
Big credit to him for having the guts to go for it, get the items, and not need to double dip the dungeon afterwards.
Yeah, and we're seeing Rick. This is actually going to be a triple dip of pod for him here, because we know that the hammer is a nice palace.
In that case, he's probably coming here to pull the fire rod, if I had to guess.
Maybe the fire rod, maybe another sword. Yeah, there's got to be something good here. So we are looking for, to complete the seed, we need the Eastern Palace big key. They're going to need that Swamp small key. And then the Mire big as well. And Hookshot's got to be around here somewhere. All right, another piece of heart out of the big chest.
And that's actually surprisingly few items for... I mean, we're 25 minutes into the seed. Even in a spoiler format, you've got to play the game still.
Yeah. All right, there is the hook shot. Okay. I'm curious about prioritizing that now before the hammer. Oh no.
Monkey.
Oh no, big monkey.
He paid Zora earlier and that left without cash.
All that money and just lost 10 more rupees because does not have the 110 to get in to pod right now. So he is going to dip in Ice Palace. Rick does take a death to those dead rocks. That's a little unfortunate, though. He's got the flute. We'll get right back up there again very shortly.
Yeah, and that does fully explain why he wanted to prioritize the hook shot. There's something on East Mountain that he wants.
Yeah. All right, 95 rupees. Just 10 away. Oh, is he going to do it again?
He could. Unfortunately, the rupee room in the way back is locked behind the big keys.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Gonna get our first look at Paradox here from Rick.
The McMonkey, even after doing that, it's still 5 rupees short. Gonna have to do it one
Man,
last time.
this is a pretty slow way to farm these rupees.
Unfortunately, like, no flute in hand for McMonkey. Still probably, this is his best option for it.
So it has exactly enough. Cannot take a hit while carrying the monkey. All right, so there is the fire rod as well as powder, which might not be required, but is a really nice safety to have.
And then another pod key just to round it out. Yeah, powder is probably the most intuitive, easy to use safety in the game. At least once you actually know what it does. Definitely beats going for bottles when you're in the middle of a Dark World dungeon, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like Rick is heading over to ice now. Now, this is going to be interesting because he is going to have to manage his magic pretty well here, not having bombos.
Yep, and he needs to do the bright side, which he's going to do with Icebreaker, presumably, which costs a small amount of magic. He needs to do the Freezor chest because that one has the hammer, and that's 2 fire rod shots right there. And then he needs Cold Stare after that, which is 8 fire rod shots.
All right, I don't think we saw any of this from Rick. And it looks like Monkey. Okay, the bug net can be used as a safety, though they don't have any bottles at this point. Rick is still on green mail too, by the way, so.
Yeah, so he is gonna... If he goes into that fight on full health, he'll be playing the same 2-hit KO that McMonkey did.
Nicely done with the icebreaker there.
Yeah, when you're tight on magic, getting through that in 1 block is critical.
That's interesting. So this is going to be a double dip for McMonkey. Not a triple dip like it's going to be for Rick, but it is double dip because you did only have 2 smokies. So.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Rick's been picking him up. He's on 5, which is quite a lot.
Yeah, that's. I mean, he could full clear it if he wanted to. All right, so he might need to go pick up that small key to open this other door to get some more magic, because he's not going to have enough magic. Either that, or he's going to need to like powder the fairy and use beams.
Looks like he's going to be going for beam strats here.
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe going for... Well, no, even with beam strats, he wouldn't have enough magic here because he used to on the powder.
So, okay, so he is going to grab the key here. Yep.
Yep, and then making sure to dash through that just so that there's no risk of him taking damage from those things as they come out.
So it looks like McMonkey will be heading into desert. Getting his pendant. Does have the big key, so we'll see if there's something here in the big chest. Alright, so Rick will be good on magic here now. And it looks like there's going to be something in the big chest. It is another big key to Eastern Palace, so fully required.
Yeah, and that desert big key was, what, in Mini Moldrum Cave, I believe, so fairly in the way.
See a small key on the torch. Another key to pod. And Rick's still using the sword beams.
I like using the beams here, especially on Master Sword, just because it gives you a few fire rod shots for the pod itself.
Those puffs are creeping.
Yeah, and that falling ice not doing him any favors either.
If he stays at the very top, though, you'll see that the balls won't fall on him anymore, and that's what he's doing. Nicely done by a veteran runner here.
And that's Cold Stare down for Rick, tying up the crystal count again.
Yeah, this is really close. There's been some really interesting routing divergence from both of our runners. But they're about even. Rick does need to go get that Eastern big key. Yeah,
Rick needs that Eastern big key, and other than that, they both need to pick up a couple of other keys, like you mentioned earlier. Meyer big,
Yeah.
Swamp small.
And Go will need to go up to the mountain and grab that fire rod as well. So that is a required trip because you need it for Skullwoods.
True, yeah. I'm thinking there wasn't anything else we actually saw on the mountain there, unless you count the safety of the magic powder, was there?
Yeah.
So that's actually not quite as out of the way as it looked for Rick there. All right.
So I think the only required item that we haven't seen, or there's two of them. The Meyer Big, we haven't seen that one yet. And we haven't seen the Swamp Small.
Yeah, that looks right to me. A couple other things that might be nice to have, like a GT small and maybe a Meyer small, depending on where other stuff is. But nothing.
Yeah, but you're not going out of your way for any of that stuff.
No, it's like if it happens to be in the way.
Ooh, Silver's a bow-locked bow there on Pod. All right.
I think that's worth going out of your way for. Nice find.
I think it's possible in this seed to single dip Pod.
Oh, yeah, I think so for sure, because there were no Pod small keys behind anything we've gotten here, I think, aside maybe one on the east side of Death Mountain behind the hookshot. But even that you could get with Meteor and Hammer instead.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to see a Helmasaur fight from McMonkey and Go here. We're going to see a Mothula fight from Adirondack Rick and the Bomb Squad here in just a second.
Yep. I think McMonkey will get to his boss fight first, but not by quite as much as it might look.
Yeah, this race is very close.
So McMonkey both on Master Sword in that room and on full health. Very annoying. Sword beams get very much in the way in that room in particular.
Yeah. Blue Mail, 6 hearts. McMonkey should be pretty fine here. If it was green mail, it'd be a little bit scarier.
I mean, green mail 6 hearts what the top tier NMG runners do on this fight.
Yeah, it's not free though.
No, it's probably the second least free thing in the vanilla speedrun, I think. But they're silvers.
Yep. Nicely done. Rick going with hammer strats on Moth, so just need to whack Moth 4 times, not have any of those spikes cancel any of the damage.
Yep, and Moth really not playing nice here in the mid stage of the fight, but there we go. I think one more hit and he'll be good.
Yeah, I think so too. Nicely done.
Yep.
So we're going to see almost simultaneous crystals from our 2 runners here.
And still tied on 3 crystals.
That's right. McMonkey will be picking up his Eastern crystal here in just a few minutes. We'll see where Rick wants to head after this. I imagine Pod Eastern is probably where he's going to go next. Still curious about where that Meyer Big and the Swamp Small are.
Yeah, because we're kind of running out of crystal dungeons that we can clear. Eastern's the only one that these runners haven't really been into. Mm-hmm. And McMonkey's in it now and already skipped 1 chest.
They are in Master Sword and they will be getting, and Go has silvers. Bomb Squad will probably be getting silvers here. You'd still like to find that 3rd sword though, so wonder if that pops up or if it's somewhere inconvenient, say, the other 2 swords like in Turtle Rock or deep in GT or something.
Yeah, that would be quite frustrating for these runners, but Master Sword with silvers is not really the end of the world for a Ganon fight.
It's not fun though, I'll tell you that much. It's not the end of the world, but it's not fun, especially when you're on lower percentage and you know that your opponent is somewhat close, and that's the way it feels like it's going to be throughout this race.
Yeah. And on that note, Rick actually still yet to grab armor from anywhere. So
Yeah. I don't think we're going to see him go out of his way to get that blue mail.
I was thinking he could at the very end if he wanted to.
Yeah, maybe. I think at that point, though, it's just for Ganon. I don't know. It depends on if you have, like, potions or not. Which, again, we haven't seen any bottle. Oh, there's a bottle. We saw that. I missed that on the other side, so.
Yep, picked it up right before the silvers. And it's really all about your confidence level.
Yeah. All right, so Eastern done for McMonkey. Let's see where he heads off to. Does a save and quit despite having a flute. We'll see where he goes.
I think he's going to swamp.
Oh, was the swamp small in Eastern?
Yeah, Helmus, or not Helmus, Armos dropped there, right?
Oh, okay. I missed that one.
But not grabbing it, going to the mountain instead. And
Okay, so this is Fire Rod. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be item go mode, but still missing one big key.
Where do you think, I mean, we could obviously just cheat and look, but where do you think the Meyer Big is?
I mean, at this point, the numbers say swamp, especially based off the lack of a Turtle Rock big key.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be a silly person and say it's probably not in swamp. It's probably in Turtle Rock anyways. It's going to be my guess. But I have not seen the spoiler log, so all I can do is guess.
Yeah. There is powder and the fire rod for McMonkey. Yes. Rick gets to take on Helmasaur King.
Yep. And then right after this, he'll mirror and he'll go kill the Armos Knights.
And it does look like it's going to be swamp for McMonkey here.
Just wanted that fire rod first, which is perfectly reasonable. You have to do it at some point. May as well do it now. You can grab that powder while you're up there. And then, yeah, just as a brief reminder for people who may have been late to the race, not seeing it, this is a spoiler log format where the runners do not have the spoiler log. Instead, at the start of the race, at the 0-second mark, and not 1 split second before that, they have partners that got the spoiler log, and those partners are telling them where to go. So, no study time, and the runners themselves cannot check the log. They are entirely reliant on the people reading it for them.
All right, so McMonkey gonna open the second chest here in Swamp. Is this our Meyer Big? It's not. It's a cape. Okay, that's another nice safety to have if you're doing Master Sword Ganon.
Yep, makes it real easy to dodge around fire bats.
Next up is, I would say, as far as safety items that I'd be looking for would be half magic.
Yeah, I think so, especially with the cape in hand.
Yeah.
The only other quote-unquote safeties left really are like the red boomerang and the cane of Burna. And when you've got the cape, who cares about Burna? It just lags the game.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so the spoiler log is out there. Our tracker is informing us on something. So there is 2 more swords out there. I will share where one of them is. One of the swords is on Bombos tablet.
I see. That could be behind literally anything.
Oh, another red potion there in swamp. That one's pretty free.
Yeah, and that's pretty nice for safety. Both of them having red potions is actually quite nice. They're not quite blues, but still good.
Mm-hmm. So to get that Bombos tablet, you need the book. The book. We just passed it. It's in Swamp Palace Big Chest, which Swamp Palace big key is not required to defeat the to finish the dungeon.
Yeah, in a conventional seed, the Swamp Palace Big Key can be inside the big chest. That's how not required it is.
Mm-hmm. So you might be thinking, is it worth it to get the big Swamp Big, to get the book, to get the sword? Let me tell you where the Swamp Big is.
Can I take a guess first?
Take a guess.
I'm trying to think. I'm gonna guess that it's in one of two really silly locations. It's probably either like on Trinex or somewhere silly like the Lumberjack where you don't even know what big key it is.
Ding, ding, ding. We have ourselves a winner. Swamp Big on Lumberjack.
That would be absolutely miserable in a non-spoiler setting.
So we're not getting that sword. We'll see if these runners finish with a tempered, but we're definitely not seeing gold sword.
Yeah, which I think for these runners is probably fine. Gold
Totally.
sword adds surprisingly little to the game. Like it makes the Trinex fight pretty easy for. Well, I'm not going to say easy. Zero cycle Trinex is still difficult, but it makes that possible at least. And
there's go mode.
I'm pretty sure Rick has that, 'cause I remember him doing that check earlier. I was like, oh, hey, he walked past all the village stuff and did that. So I think both teams are just in go mode here, and I forgot that that was that key.
Yeah. So again, the big question is, where's that third sword? We'll see if either of our runners decides to go out of their way for it, or if it's in a location that is along the way. The pilots can, give information as to where their opponents are, and if it's out of the way, the question is, do you take the time to go for it if you're in the lead or not? And right now, it's hard to say who's in the lead. Like, I'm not 100% sure. Monkey still has to go to the back of Skull Woods.
And Rick's got to finish this Swamp Palace.
Yeah, it's really close. I think McMonkey might have a small lead, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, just by how far into Misery Mire he is right now, I think that's pretty equivalent to going to the back of Skull Woods.
Mm-hmm. Rick does have to be careful. These puffs do 2 hearts damage. He is down to 2 hearts. Is he going to pop one of the red potions he's picked up? He is. Okay.
Yep, and still got another one in store for really whatever he needs it for. And then chat's asking about the mushroom that's lit up on Rick's tracker. That actually wasn't anything this seed. Rick just did an uncle start super early, did a couple checks to give Synac time to go through the log, figure out where some stuff was, and picked up the mushroom as part of that.
McMonkey not get the spooky action there in the last one, so has to head back down and flip the switch.
Yep, and that takes a few seconds, but not a huge loss in the long run.
And one of the tougher fights in the game, unless you actually have silver arrows, and then it's super free.
Yep. And it's only 2 arrows into the big eye when you've got silver, so that's a dead Vitreous. And as soon as McMonkey goes back and kills the moth, he'll have 7 crystals.
A nice free GT small there as well.
Yep. Saves you from either stealing the key in the pot to the left at the start, or from killing the Helmosaur later. Your choice which one you get to skip.
Okay, so is it faster to go through all of Mire, just go straight to the boss, or flute from Mire and go kill Moth? We're going to find out right now.
I think it's the moth that's faster.
I think so,
it's gonna
too.
be close.
Yeah. Regardless,
Give us a sense of what exactly the lead is.
Yeah, and regardless, is it super close because we have all of GT to do, and that's going to be the equalizer here.
Well, you say that, but we don't have the basement to do, so we do have the higher execution.
Well, we have the climb. Yeah, the climb. I mean, the basement's not really execution based as much, but
no, it's just the big
gauntlet
everybody knows and hates.
Yeah. And then, of course, if it's Master Sword Ganon, even though they have the silvers, who's going to get through it first?
Right. Because that's still 28 spins before you can put silver arrows in. And then you've got to do even more spins just to stun him.
Alright, so 3 rooms away for McMonkey. 2 rooms away for Rick.
Nice little spooky action there, saving a couple seconds. But McMonkey does have one advantage over Rick right now. He's got that blue mail out of Dark Drop.
Yeah. Yep. So it looks like Rick's going to get out of here first.
I'm actually pretty surprised by that. Like, I knew that the back of Skull Woods had more rooms than it tends to be given credit for, but I still thought it would be a little faster than Mire.
Yeah, McMonkey did have a little bit of trouble getting that key from the mummy there, the Gibdo.
And then the Moth, not very generously positioned here, but that's Mothula down for McMonkey.
But look how close this is.
Yeah, that's Rick coming out like 5 seconds ahead on the crystal grab.
All right. So Rick lands at 50 minutes and 8 seconds at the top of the mountain.
Okay, I don't know how long the crystal cutscene is, apparently. Even when Rando shortens it.
Yeah. And McMonkey 33.
So 25 seconds. Just 5 by 5.
Rick going through Super Bunny. It has not hammered the Turtle Rock entrance. So I think this is probably faster.
Yeah, it's faster and it's a little bit less Dead Rock interaction, especially up towards the top.
And there might be a heart. Yeah, and there might be a heart here or something as well. Nope.
Nope. So McMonkey actually the first one to the summit of the mountain, but does have to open up that Turtle Rock portal.
Yeah.
A couple extra screens.
And there's 7 crystals for Rick. Man, this is what you want, right? This is exactly what you want. As a viewer, who's going to out-execute you? Because they're heading in with Master Sword. And I'll tell you right now, no one's getting that tempered.
It is not in Ganon's Tower, friends.
It is not in Ganon's Tower. All right, well, here we go. Mimics 1 for Rick is finished. McMonkey heads upstairs. That is Mimics 2 for Rick. How well can you manage your hearts? How well can you manage your magic? How well can you manage your arrows? No half magic in this as well.
Half a bar of magic for some health there because he came in down 2 hearts.
Yeah.
He probably gained a second or so in that room from that.
Oh, this is tense. All right, gauntlet climb for Rick. 52-59.
Yep. And McMonkey just, this room and then up to it. And that was 53-12, him entering Gauntlet 1 there.
McMonkey through Gauntlet 1. Rick just almost going to finish up and head to the last room of the Gauntlet here. Misses the arrow. All right.
Took a little bit of a beating in there. Has powder for this if he wants it. No, though. Because if you take the powder in here, that means the Lambos will all spawn together. Makes it harder to get the silver arrows in. Which he misses 2 anyways, unfortunately.
Oh, no. Yeah. Opportunity for McMonkey here. Nice recovery from Rick, though.
If McMonkey can get the 1 cycle, though, he's in good shape. And there it is.
And he does. All right.
Still behind, but just a handful of seconds now instead of the 20 or so it was entering the tower.
All right, Wizrobes 1 done for Rick. Right on his tail is McMonkey, finishing Wizrobes 1 2 as well. Nice Wizrobes 2 for Rick. Followed very closely by McMonkey with a little bit of bonk. Not losing to. Oh no!
He's dead. Death hole. He got hit after he fell. 1.0.
Yep.
That is very, very unfortunate for Rick there.
Ah, that's tough.
Yeah, I know how it feels to die there when you're trying to climb Ganon's tower.
Yeah, he just got bullied off the edge. Has to remain calm. This race is not over yet.
Yeah, there is still a chance that McMonkey could do the same. Take a fall from Moldorm into the spikes.
Yeah, there's still plenty of opportunities to catch up. McMonkey has to make some errors here, but it does give him a little bit of relief here.
Yeah, he's got the breathing room as long as he plays clean, but he does have to do that.
Yep. Gets the heart refill. Gets the magic refill on the Moldorm 2 as Rick gets ready to climb again. Nice hook shot and spin for McMonkey, and down goes Moldorm 2. Oh, and Rick getting bullied a little bit by the balls, heading into the gauntlet with only 2.5 hearts.
Yeah, and he took a bit of a beating in the gauntlet the first time through. May see him pull out the potion here, yep. Meanwhile, McMonkey on to Agatu.
If you're running this, do you like to know where your opponent is, or do you want to just focus on how you're performing?
Honestly, for me personally, it kind of depends on how I feel about my performance in the earlier stages of the race. If I'm feeling good and relaxed, yeah, tell me all day. If I screwed up earlier on, then no, just let me focus on the run, or just tell me that it's screwed so that I don't have to worry about it as much.
Sure.
But obviously, we've seen Vortex in chat here several times, so he knows the state of the race.
Mm-hmm.
Probably been relaying that to his partner, but I could not tell you for sure. That's entirely his prerogative.
All right, land mode 2 again for Rick. And the drop down to Ganon for McMonkey. Here we go. Get your slashes ready. Excuse me, your spins ready, because you can't slash with the Master Sword.
I always found that kind of silly, to be honest, because the Master Sword's supposed to be sort of Evil's Bane,
Yeah.
the one that can actually kill Ganon, and then you can't
Right.
actually slash him with it.
Yeah.
But doing a good, solid job of playing it safe here.
Oh, does take hit despite trying to get through with that hook shot.
Yeah, of course.
Set up in a great spot here for phase 2. Won't be able to get all of his hits here, but
yeah, and with the fire bats, the way they were flying at him, this is just a bad position, unfortunately.
yeah, this one you just kind of chalk it up like, oh no. All right, pulling out the red potion.
Yeah, he's still got his second one in stock too, I believe, so he's in solid shape.
All right, see if he's going to use the cape, and he does. He does pull out the cape. I thought he might just grab the wall there, but down to 1 heart. Here comes the second one. And again, he's in that awkward position of, do you want to go for it here?
Yeah, and definitely not a good position to be going for it with Ganon at the bottom.
Oh, it takes another bat to the face.
Yeah.
I wonder if he thought he had got the 12 or the spins because he kind of walked away a little early.
I think he did and just miscounted by 1.
Yeah.
He only needed the 1 there. But he's probably good from here. The fire bats in this phase are significantly less dangerous than the second.
All right, Moldrum 2 for Rick.
Dropping a nice little bomb on that chest. Shout out to his teammate at Coughlin.
All right, so now with this silver arrows, just gotta land 4 of these babies right in his hide.
Doesn't get torch glitch, but also doesn't really need it. As long as he doesn't get hit here, he can use the fire rod and just set up for potentially doubles here without caring much about the magic.
Yeah. All right.
Only taking the singles, but doesn't need it. Just playing it safe here.
That's arrow number 4. Get your GG's in chat for McMonkey and go. Get ready to cross that bridge and add 3 more points to their total. Finishes with an official time of 1 hour, 23 seconds. See if we can talk to McMonkey and Vortex here.
Yep. And definitely well played to them, not letting it get away from them in the Ganon fight, where phase 2 kind of went off the rails, but handled it well.
Yeah, also probably with the knowledge that just, play it safe. Yeah, Rick now fighting Ganon. Does not have those potions. I believe he has the cape, though.
Yes, has the cape. And Rick, unfortunately, they're taking a death, but nothing stopping him from dropping right back in here. Yeah, Rick playing this cannon fight, super aggressive, knowing the race is over at this point, just going for it. Which,
Yeah.
no real reason not to, really, at this point. Like, he can't lose the race from this. So, no real need to play safe. Just test your limits here, go for it.
That was a really fun race.
Yeah, I agree. Wound up being super tense where, because of the routing divergence, it didn't necessarily look like it through
Yeah.
a lot of the mid-game. Like, it looked like through the mid-game, Go had a small but clear advantage, and that didn't actually turn out to be the case in the end. We are trying to get McMonkey and Vortex in here for an interview. Just please hold tight. That will be happening. And meanwhile, Rick grabbing a heart from the pyramid just to give him one extra heart.
Yeah.
He had 3. Had to do the double take to make sure, but had 3, so got it. Didn't need the refill off it, but still an extra. And I think this time is going to be the time we see him down Ganon, all the potions in hand, the extra heart. Making good use of the hookshot iframes there, just playing it safe, getting his spins in. And before too long, we will be on to phase 2 for Rick. And while he spins Ganon down for phase 2, we are joined by McMonkey and his pilot, Vortex. So, welcome and GG's. Congratulations to both of you.
Thanks.
So how do you guys feel about that seed? It was, you can't complain about early boots there, right?
Yeah, the early boots were nice.
So McMonkey made so I told him where boots were. He had the flippers, and he was like, "I'm gonna go get those." And I was like, "Well, we might want that bombos." And turned out you either had to do some stupid bombo stuff or some stupid other stuff.
I mean, you just had to go to the mountain, right? Like, I guess go in the pod, get the.
Well, so you had to go.
Yeah.
The pod keys were really dumb that seed. There a couple behind the flute, in desert, or checkerboard had one. There was the one in ice. There was the one at the dam, and there was one in paradox, which was behind either ice or the pod dip, because you had to get either the hookshot or the hammer. So it was just like they were all super dumb to get. And so I realized that we were going to do the bombos route pretty early, and so you saw us scrambling a little for money.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I mean, we talked before the race that we're not going to do Houlihan at first. We don't usually do that, but if we need money, we can always just go do Houlihan. Of course, the first thing we pick up is the flippers, which makes the quick Houlihan not possible anymore. So the rupee routing on this was less than ideal for us.
Sure. Let me just quickly interrupt you as Rick crosses the finish line, and we are now joined by Cynic and Rick. Get your GGs in chat for the bomb squad as they finish up that seed. GGs, guys.
Yeah, thank you, and GG's, Big Monkey. Stupid.
Thanks, Rick.
1.0.
Yeah, that was tough.
I don't even know how you can prevent that from happening, though.
Yeah. Like, the only strat that I think I've really got for that is just cape dashing through. Nothing else seems to be totally reliable.
Mm-hmm.
I know how it goes. I've been in that spot. I feel for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I missed what happened. I just got occasional updates on it, the race being really close, and then something happened, and Vortex said, "Take it easy, take it safe."
Yeah, and I kind of figured at that point in time that you guys knew at that time you guys are safe, you're good to go, and
I mean, safe is in giant quotation marks on Master Sword, spoiler percent Ganon, regardless.
With swords in annoying locations.
We probably should have picked up that sword.
Yeah, we talked a lot about it, and I think given my
a lot during that Ganon fight.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of Master Sword Ganon practice lately, and it shows. So under ideal conditions, I probably save time skipping it, but in this particular case, it was almost certainly worth it to go into Roller Room and pick up that sword in TR.
I think you had it was like a 6 and 6 or something ridiculous, where it was like a couple minutes lost on that Ganon fight over just getting a 1-1 in 18 seconds. You're on phase 3.
Yeah, sorry, Doomtap.
Yeah,
but it was so close.
I knew we were in the lead.
Yeah, you guys didn't pick it up, so I felt like we couldn't afford you guys having a really good Master Sword fight, and we picked it up, and we'd just be behind, right?
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, in hindsight, probably could have thought about that, but that still wasn't going to stop me from getting 1.0'd on the 5th floor of GT.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I could pretty much harp on that more than anything else, but the fact that, number one, I grabbed 12 more items than you did, and in the end, it was the race that it turned out to be. For a while, I was worried that we were behind you guys because we had a hard time trying to figure out the path to get to the hammer because of the fact that I went through pod 3 times.
Yeah, that pod triple dip was, it ended up working out because you guys did end up getting into GT first, but
there were a couple. So after hammer, I should have noticed the pod money.
Yeah, the overworld death is obviously on me.
Yeah.
We lost about a minute in me running back to Skull Woods, dying on the overworld on the way to the middle, and then we lost, I don't know, probably a minute or so getting money out of Eastern in order to get into pod the first time through.
Yeah, that's kind of what gave us a chance. And then I realized once we started to merge up with the routes that we actually had a narrow lead. Just
the back of Skull versus Meyer was going to be the decider, and you had silvers and Meyer's always the same, and we had Master Sword and beams, and you guys definitely came out ahead on that one.
Yeah, GG's. It is what it is about this race. I was a little annoyed about the 1.0, but it's on me for holding on to that potion as long as I did without using it, knowing exactly what could happen on that floor. It's not like that's the only time I've ever gotten 1.0'd there. It's just the only time I've gotten 1.0'd and got sent back to start.
We haven't heard yet from Cynic. Cynic, how did you feel about your routing?
I probably could have done a little bit better of a job. That triple dip into pod was completely unnecessary. I thought he had an extra key. So I thought he had 2 keys, which would have allowed him to. It would allowed him to get to. That
Would have gotten me
shot.
the hook shot first time through. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that would have. We could have saved a good amount of time. The problem is that I just completely forgot about where all the rest of the keys were pretty much required.
Yeah.
For food. So
there were 3 behind the flute. There's one in Mireshed, Desert, and Checkerboard. The book, although it existed in the seed, the second Castle Tower Small was in GT. I checked after thinking about it. So that flute was hard required for access to Desert. So the only way to have 2 keys on your first dip to pod was to Icebreaker, or get the hammer and backtrack if you're not gonna glitch. But
we ended up having money problems with Zora, and we solved it by just not doing Zora.
yeah, we yeah, the Bombos versus Fire Rod, and this was such a hard seed to figure out.
That was the other mistake we made, was leaving Village of Outcasts. We were initially, when I went into the Dark World, I was going to go to Maze Race and get the $50, and then we said, well, we'll come back through here after we do Village of Outcasts, and then we saved and quit from the village instead of running to Stumpy to get the Meyer Big. So if we had gone down, done Maze Race, got the Meyer Big, then we've got pod money that way too, and that saves us, the Eastern farming.
But yeah, GG's guys. This was a good one. Very stressful. As this mode always ends up being.
I won't disagree with that statement.
I'm not going to disagree with that statement either, because Sinek, as you could attest to, oh shoot, they're getting this. Why are they going to Skull? Sinek, why are they going into Skull?
I do think, though, I do want to say that I think that the reasons you guys just highlighted makes this an absolutely wonderful seed to just show off the pilot spoiler format in general.
It was so fast.
Definitely enough twists and turns to make it really interesting, but also nice and compact all the same.
It was a very fast seed. If you had the spoiler log, I think if you didn't have the spoiler log, then it would have been a nightmare.
This seed would be a nightmare without the spoiler log.
Yeah, but
you have to make a call to go into pod with 1 key at some point, probably, unless you chance the ice dip. It's just this is a nightmare to play without a spoiler log.
Anytime you have the hammer being an Ice Palace, you're in for a lot of fun when you're playing this by yourself.
Yeah. Especially the keys, like you guys mentioned, the pod key layout is pretty silly. So how does everyone feel about going forward in the league? Bomb Squad, you guys have some to make the playoffs, some races to make up. Go, you're kind of right there in the thick of it. How's everyone feeling about everything?
I'll start with regards to our squad here. Yeah, I mean, getting that win over Big Dunka last week was a pretty solid one for me, at least as a confidence boost. We got a real rough start to the season, having to face Tile Roomies and then the Spoilers and then Error 216, the first 3, so it was not going to be an easy one. I think we can probably churn out some wins in the later weeks here, especially once we get to week 5, week 6, week 7. But yeah, it's going to be an uphill climb. And right now I'm just wanting to get ourselves into a position where we're at least safe from relegation.
Yeah, and it's sort of our team mantra to not think, just go. So, I'm trying not to put too many brain cycles into, what the different scenarios are. Just focus on the race in front of us and see what we can do.
I'll echo that. I think Rick's statement that the gauntlet of Error 216, Tile Roomies, and Spoilers is coming out of that with 1 win would would feel pretty good to me too. So and like, yeah, I'm glad we're not winless is where I'm at right now. So
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, our primary goal was not to be winless, and our secondary goal was not to make Fear look bad in picking us as a dark horse for the playoffs. So as long as we're somewhere in the vicinity, we can make Fear look good.
And that's what's most important. When's game 2?
It's yet to be scheduled, but we're looking towards maybe doing it on Saturday. It's going to be Sinek piloting and Fred going as the runner.
Okay.
and it'll be my self-piloting Schuple. It's going to be somewhere Saturday afternoon.
Okay. Cool. I think that's it. Ray, do you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think we hit the big points, but game 2 does sound like something to look forward to, especially if it's anything at all like this one.
Yeah, this one was a lot of fun. Thanks for letting us do this. This is actually the last invitational race for today. We've got 3 races on the schedule tomorrow: 2:30, 3:30, and 10 p.m. We've got Pug Trio versus Noble Foxes, a double header actually of Pug Trio and Noble Foxes, and then don't forget the Trackers versus 2 Pearl 2 Furious coming up. Over on the Open League, we have the It's Mitts versus Bottles on Empty going on right now on the League channel, and then on the League 2 in 10 minutes, we've got Dark Side of the Triforce versus Ped Zeppelin. So check those out as well. Lots of spoiler stuff happening this week. It's a fun week in the league.
Is that a
Starting in about
spoiler?
an hour and 10, we've also got Ziva's Frog Bar and Hovering Sick Kids, and then another one after that, at half an hour after that. So a lot of league matches going on tonight.
For sure. So keep it locked on the SpeedGaming channels and the league channels if you want some ALTTPR league action. Other than that, GG's to both teams here. Good luck in game 2. Reg, thanks again for doing commentary with me, and Scoopula, our tracker, big shout outs to him as well.
Yep, was a fantastic race. I'm glad I got to see it. Glad I got to call it with you. And just again, GG's to all the runners.
Yep.
So, guess we'll be seeing you guys some other race.
All right, see y'all later. Thanks for watching.
See ya.